How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the New York Islanders franchise mode here in NHL 25. Moving into episode number 21 for the 2030 postseason here in year number 6. In the last one, we had a very strong 51-win season that saw us win 50-plus games for the third time through 6 seasons so far on Long Island, plus finishing atop the Eastern Conference for the first time in franchise history, as the conferences were renamed in the early 90s. The last time the Islanders finished atop their conference was 1984. So 46 years since the Islanders finished atop their conference, and the first time since it was called the Eastern Conference. So 46 years later. Last year we won the Cup for the first time in 46 years. This season, 1 year later, we win our conference for the first time in 46 years. So maybe 46 is our magic number. But all that to say, it was a great 51, 24, and 7 season that saw us finish second in the league, right behind the Sharks for the President's Trophy. That would have been something. But nice to see that we finally got ourselves a conference title for the first time through our 6 seasons, and again in 46 years, if you want to think of it with the old conference format. Going 51, 24, and 7 with a very strong power play, our best power play and best penalty kill through our 6 seasons again. So not our winningest season, but possibly our most successful regular season so far. So actually, I'll just back out because we can look at the rankings on this screen right here instead of having to count all the numbers on the right side of your screen. We were the third in the league for goals for per game at 3.85, second at goals against at 2.66, power play was 7th in the league at 21.9, and penalty kill was 5th at 86%. Awesome. Now, the offense was really something, especially in the second half of the season. After the first half, we were on pace to win 52 games, and in the end, we won 51. So, okay. But the offense is what was incredible. Guys like Brock Besser, who were on pace for like 60-some points, end with 82. So the offense really came alive in the second half. At one point, Matty Barzal had scored 22 points over 10 games. It was crazy. So in the end, Barzal led the team in points scoring, 92 points in 78 games from the now 32-year-old Matty Barzal. That's something. Big top 50 Bo Horvat. Every year he scores 2 more goals, from 42 to 44 to 46 to 48. So hopefully next year is when he hits 50. But man, 35 years old, down to 89 overall now, but still getting it done with 48 goals and 85 points. The captain leading by example. Patrick Laine with a career year, 38 goals and 83 points in 82 games. Really, really happy to be seeing that from him. Brock Besser follows up on last season's 98 points with 82 this year. And again, considering that he was on pace for around 60 at the halfway point, to end with 82 was incredible. 34 goals and 82 points from the now 33-year-old who is on an expiring contract. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Cole Yzerman, 43 goals from him. A guy who had never gotten more than 32, then down to 25, 28. Boom! 43 goals and 71. Not even close to as many assists as last year, as he had 54 assists and 82 points last season. But still, we'll take the 43 goals and 71 points from Cole Yzerman. Porter Martone, third consecutive year of scoring 20 goals. 61, now 68 points. New career high. Very good to see from him, Porter. Oliver Kapanen playing a third-line role, just 15 minutes per night, and he puts up 66 points in his first full year as an Islander. We really got to get him into the top 6 next season, so I'm looking forward to trying to do that. Evgeny Malkin, he came back for one more season. He said that there was a little bit left in the tank, and we were right to trust him. 60 points from the now 43-year-old who surpassed 1,700 career points, 1,000 career assists. The reigning Conn Smythe Trophy winner would love a 5th Stanley Cup to go off into the sunset. What a season from Gino. What else can be said for Gino Malkin? Landon Dupont, his sophomore season, he was on pace for something like 60 as well, so he slowed down, but I'll still take 48 points in the sophomore season of a 20-year-old on defense. That's fine by me. 48 and 73 from Landon Dupont, on pace for 50-plus if he had a fully healthy season. David Jiricek, offense out of nowhere, 42 points and a plus 47. We were hoping for him to be a consistent 25, 30-point guy. 32 last year, now 42 this year. So big increases from his first season of 23. I would have been happy with 23, but the 32, now 42 career high from David Jiricek. Well done to him. Ethan Belchet's 35 points for his rookie season, and even the first 15 games really slow. In the end, to acknowledge that this guy is playing under 12 minutes per night in his rookie season, 35 points is fine by me. You can't always get 50 plus from your depth scoring. Ethan Belchet scoring 35 was a success. Vince Dunn, 34 points and a plus 23. Awesome. Chris Letang, we picked him up at the trade deadline at 50% retained for a second-round pick from the Predators, bringing in another one of Evgeny Malkin's old friends. Letang now at 42 years of age. We used him in a lot of different places in the lineup. He played first, second, and third pair with injuries and everything. He scored 5 points and was a plus 7 through 19 games played as an Islander. 1 game-winning goal, averaging 16-13 of ice time per night. He also scored his 1,000th NHL point with us here on the Islanders, so that's really cool to see as well. The 42-year-old would love to win a 4th Stanley Cup before retiring. So last season, through the influence of Evgeny Malkin, we got Marc-Andre Fleury on board, signing as our 3rd goalie, and he ended up being a huge part of our run to the Stanley Cup. And now 1 year later, Malkin says, hold on, I'm not done yet. Let me carry a couple more of my buddies over the finish line. Chris Letang joins the effort here on Long Island. Matt Murray's also here as our 3rd goalie right now. I didn't mean to collect the Penguins Infinity Stones, but here we are. Shout out to our Penguins franchise mode in NHL 23. Chris Letang, he's here. When everybody's healthy, he'll probably be more 7th D, but for now, we also have Ryan Pulock injured, so he will continue to be in our lineup. Rasmus Sandin, 23 points and a plus 16. Brock Nelson, we also got him from the Predators at 50% retained for a 6th round pick. So it ended up being in total Letang and Nelson both at 50% retained from Nashville for a 2nd and a 6th. Brock Nelson was more of a storyline pickup. Let's try and get him that Stanley Cup before he retires, now at 38 years of age. We only played him in 3 games, -1, but he came out for the fans. Everyone was happy to see him. A tearful reuniting with our former captain, and he'll be on board, trying to get his name on Lord Stanley. Last time he was here on our run to the Stanley Cup Final 2 years ago, he was not great. He was 4th line center, ended up getting himself scratched. 3 points and -7 in 26 games. So Brock Nelson, you're definitely not going to be getting a guaranteed spot in the lineup, but you're around, you're a morale guy, you're in the locker room. Let's try and do it, all right? Fajmo, 12 goals and 17 points from him. Mason Marchman, 16 and 71. Bolzuk had a crazy career year, 15 assists and a plus 39 for the 80 overall, playing under 15 minutes per night. Pressing, the rookie, 13 points in 82 games for Ralph Pressing, so hopefully 3rd line role for him next season to continue to try and get some growth out of him. 9 points and a plus 16 in 68 games from Ryan Pulock as well. Mayfield, 3 points, plus 4 in 7 games. Probably the last seasons for Pulock and Mayfield are those big contracts. We'll see. We got them their Stanley Cup last year. Could we get them one more? We'll find out. And for the goaltending, as last episode was entitled, the Augustine Empire came to its fruition. Trey Augustine has arrived, ladies and gentlemen, and what an arrival it was. At 81 overall, he won 23, 14, and 4 with 5 shutouts and 42 appearances, a .913 save percentage, and 2.45 goals against average. Meanwhile, Ilya Sorokin was not bad. In 43 appearances, the now 34-year-old went 28, 12, and 3, 2 shutouts, .908 save percentage, 2.81 goals against average. But Trey Augustine became the guy, and he's all we can think about. Like Caleb said, sorry, babe, I didn't hear what you said. I was too busy thinking about the Augustine Empire. You and me both, brother. I get it. So there was the scoring for our Islanders squad in a very successful 2029-30 season in year number 6. And now we move into the postseason, facing the Blue Jackets for the 3rd consecutive year. Noah Dobson and the Blue Jackets. You love to see it. We beat the Islanders if we go back 2 years ago, we beat them in 6 games in round 1 on our road to a Stanley Cup Final loss. And last year, we swept them in round 2 on our road to the Stanley Cup victory. So 2 years in a row where we faced the Blue Jackets and we beat the Blue Jackets and we go to a Stanley Cup Final. So could history repeat itself once again here in this round 1 matchup? We'll find out. A lot of the same team as the last couple of years. Lindstrom, Johnson, Schultz on the 1st line for the Blue Jackets, Kempe, Fantilli, Newhook on the 2nd, Drouin, Malatesta, Marchenko on the 3rd, and Brindley, Gourde, and Del Bell Bellas on the 4th line. For defense, it's that top pair of Zach Werenski and Noah Dobson. We just pulverized Noah Dobson last postseason. If you check out the playoff stats here, in round 1, I believe he had 1 goal and was something like a +1 or 2. So in those 4 games against us in the 2nd round, he had 1 assist and was like a -7 or 8. It was phenomenal from our point of view, as our Noah Dobson chapter in franchise history did not go very well in our universe we've created here. Again, no hate to Noah Dobson in the real world. Love Noah Dobson, but here in this universe, things do not go very well if you go back and watch the episodes. So Werenski Dobson on the top pair. He's still 92 overall, though. I'm sure he's hungry for revenge. We got to try and hold him at bay as much as possible. Matejchuk and Gavin and Gustav Lindstrom on the 2nd pair, and Coughlin with Rayo Mullen on the 3rd pair. Goaltending is 90 overall. Thatcher Demko backed up by Tarasov at an 81. Demko last year I always click the wrong one. It's a million times I've done it. 2 years ago, when we beat them in 6, he had an .895 save percentage. And last year, despite sweeping them in his 9 appearances in total between the 1st round and the 2nd round, he still had a .928 save percentage. So Thatcher Demko, at 34 years of age, he doesn't want to get embarrassed anymore after a couple of tough years in Columbus. I'm sure Dobson doesn't want to get embarrassed anymore. We've beaten them in back-to-back years. Can we do it again a 3rd time? We'll find out. I'm very happy to be playing against them and not like the Hurricanes that were a 50-plus win team. We just squeezed out of having to face them by finishing 2nd in the division. as we beat out the Devils, and now we get to face the wildcard Blue Jackets, who are 39, 31, and 12. Anything happen in franchise mode, but I'd much rather play against Blue Jackets. So here's the prospective lineup moving into Game 1 of Round 1 of the postseason. Before we get started, we'll just quickly dive into the comments from the AGMs left in the last one, mostly talking about what are we thinking when it comes to Brock Boeser and or Trey Augustine extensions. So starting off with Gavin, who said, predicting a great playoff performance because this team is incredible in the slow sim. Famous last words, I hope not. Also glad to see the penalty kill somehow worked it out. We have some big questions with Brock Boeser to answer in the offseason. I'd probably lean towards letting him walk and picking up a cheaper alternative for the third line, and then letting Kapanen come up to the second line, but let's focus on that after the playoffs. Great video data, and see you in the playoffs. Thank you, Gavin. Cheating Heel says, wow, did not think we could catch the Devils, but got proven wrong. Shame that we still ended up second overall, though, in the league. Yeah, but I'll take that instead of having to face the Hurricanes, like I said, or whoever else is a 50-plus win team in round 1. We saw what happened when that happened a few years ago against the Bruins. We were a 54-win team and lost in round 1 and 7, but that's a story for another time. I would jump on an Augustine extension. As for Boeser, giving him 4 years, knowing we'll most likely trade him after 2 feels a bit cheese. With a couple of big ticket contracts ending, we can probably afford to pay him a bit more for only 2 years, but that's my 2 cents. Another thing we could do would be to check who are the pending UFAs. If there's a forward, ideally a center, but could be a winger, with similar overall to Boeser, but who's younger, maybe we trade for his rights to the draft and sign that acquired player instead. Boeser has been very good, but with the amount of players we have over 32 years of age, we should explore getting younger. We don't want to have most of the core crash and burn all at the same time. If there aren't any interesting options, we can always extend him, but we should at least look at other possibilities before we commit. All right, very fair point. And on another note, now that we see him explode production-wise, I kind of want the Habs to trade for Barzal so he can feed Line. Hey, you and me both. Thank you, Cheating Heel. Jumping over to Sam's comment now, which said, hi, Data, that was an incredible end to the season. That 10-game stretch at the start of the episode especially was incredible for the second line. Tell me about it. As for the questions posed at the end of the episode regarding the extensions, I say go for it with Boeser. That cap hit is really favorable to us, and the modified no-trade clause is very workable if we end up having to move him out at some point. Augustine is also a great extension to offer right now, and I'd even add in a modified no-trade clause with a 16-team no-trade list, which would be maneuverable enough if needed. As for the others, Malkin, Pollock, Mayfield, etc., I'd at least give them a look and see their prices and consider it at the right price. But we'll look at that after the postseason, after retirements, regression, all that. We can get a better idea of what the actual dollar amounts might be. And I'm looking forward to the playoffs. Can't wait to feel the electric atmosphere again. So until next time, go Isles. Thank you, Sam. I'm going to end off here with a super kind comment that I just wanted to highlight from Leegi, which said, I love these videos, Data. I originally came here for your franchise mode guides a few months ago and noticed just how funny, positive, and cool you are. You'd make an awesome NHL commentator, maybe for our Pittsburgh Penguins. Go Pens. Leegi, thank you so very much for the kind words. Actually, growing up, I always wanted to be an NHL commentator, so I guess in a way I'm kind of doing that right now, especially when we go in and watch the painful AI. But thank you so much for those kind words. I'm glad that you've been enjoying the franchise modes and all that here on the channel. And thank you for leaving your thoughts here, as Leegi goes on to say, I watched through your whole Islanders franchise sim, laughing and cheering them on as if I was watching my team win back-to-back cups nearly 10 years ago. I have to say, you are my favorite YouTuber. I cannot wait to see what's next. Thank you so much for this awesome content, and keep it up. As much as it pains me to say this, go Isles. I get that. We gotta always get behind the team that we're going for. I appreciate you getting out those tough words. You have no idea how happy I am to see my Penguins on this squad winning with you behind the wheel. Really a world-colliding situation. I think something that would be awesome to see is maybe giving Kurashev a look. He could potentially be a really good fourth-line center, and he's always really good on both the power play and penalty kill when I pick him up. Maybe something to look at? Sure, we can think about that in the offseason, absolutely. Anyway, over the 1 week, I've binged watched your vids. I gotta say, I cannot wait for the next one, so thank you. Hey, I say thank you for such a lovely, uplifting comment. Thank you for taking the time to do so. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the lineup is ready to go, but it's just really the extensions that we're thinking about. When it comes to Brock Boeser, I'm going to start with him. That's the more difficult one. When it comes to Brock Boeser, who's 90 overall, 33, we looked at the points that he's put up and everything. His ask for a 4-year contract would definitely be doable, as we have $21.1 million in extension dollars, and we could bring him down to somewhere in like the 9.2s, and then if you add a clause, we could get him into the 8.5s maybe, so that would be awesome. But do we see ourselves keeping Brock Boeser for 4 more years with this aging top 6? Consider that. If we look at our forwards, consider who else is around him. Barzal 32, Horvat 35, yes, Yzerman and Martone are younger, Line 31. What is the future top 6 going to be in 3, 4, 5 years from now? Because Horvat would be gone. Is it going to be a top 6 of Martone and Yzerman in their late 20s, and then Boeser 37, Barzal 36, Line 35 type of thing. I don't know about that. So I'm not saying no to Brock Besser, absolutely not. But if we signed him, I'm probably leaning towards let's overpay him and let's give him like 2 years. That overpayment would be quite a bit. We're talking like 12 plus million to get that done. But yeah, he needs some clauses in there. It would be tough. So we'll wait and see on the postseason. If it was any other circumstance, I'd say, hey, let's sign him for the 4 years, give him his insurance, and we'll figure it out later. But because we have Kapanen here pushing for the top 6, I don't think it would make sense to give that much term and trade restrictions and everything to a 33-year-old when we know that Kapanen likely is going to be in the top 6 next year. So who's in that top 6? One of Line, Yzerman, Martone, Horvat, Besser, or Barzal will either have to be traded or bumped down to the third line. We could still stay strong with Besser signed on and then Line becomes the third liner, but he did score 83 points this year. It's a really tough circumstance. So now going on to Trey Augustine, he's the one I think we can sign right now. If we had extended him at the start of the year, it would have cost us about 1.5-ish, but I think it makes more sense if we waited, he proved himself, and now he'll get himself a nice contract. So if we look at 1, 2, 3 years, it's about 2. Even 4 years, about 2.5. Into the 5 plus, I guess at 2.7, 2.8. I don't want to cheese it either. So I think for a 25-year-old who just had a really good rookie season, let's give him kind of like the Pyotr Kochetkov treatment. Here's a 4-year deal. We're going to pay you about $2.5 million, which I think would be fair. And we're going to throw in a little bit of a clause here, not because we have to, but because we want to. Really, in our system, who do we have? Jack Ivankovic is coming up in the system, but whether Augustine is the starter or the backup, we'll likely have him for a few more years from now. By the time we draft someone else who's going to grow and become his replacement, that'll be a few years. So I have no problem committing to Trey Augustine for 4 years and showing him that through a modified no-trade clause. Let's say a 50% no-trade clause, 16-team no-trade list, and let's bump it up to 2.65? 2.6, about the same. Yeah. So let's go 4 years at 2.6 on Trey Augustine with a 50% no trade clause. We'll send that extension. He's an expiring RFA, so not a big rush. And for Brock Besser, we'll wait until we get to the end of this episode. And speaking of the end of this episode, as always, the length of the playoff episode is over an hour 20. Could be hour 20, 30, 2 hours long. I always mix it up to keep you guessing. If it does end up that we lose early and it's a black screen for like 45 minutes, letting that run in the background for a little bit would be very much appreciated for the performance of the video. But I don't want anything spoiled for you. So let's hop into it. Game 1, round 1, our march back to Lord Stanley, facing a familiar foe in the Columbus Blue Jackets. Trey Augustine between the pipe, his empire continues, and the rest of the team ready to go. Nelson is scratched. He's here as the rah-rah guy in the locker room. First period, 3-0 Blue Jackets. All that hype. I say all these beautiful words for what? Johnson, Matejchuk, and Lindstrom outshooting us 11-10, and we're down 3-0 after 20. Wow, are you not embarrassed? Thank you, Brock Besser. Okay, against his old friend Thatcher Demko. But then Lindstrom answers right back. It's 4-1. Second period ends 5-1. Lindstrom and Johnson, 5 goals on 23 shots against Trey Augustine. And let me guess, now he'll collapse in the postseason. I restarted the PlayStation, so that means that he's going to be a whole different goaltender and just collapse now, right? Outshot 23-20 through 40, and we're down by 4. Power play Islanders to start the third, killed off. Power play Blue Jackets, and it's 6-1, call it a night. Yeah, there's the embarrassment as Noah Dobson scores in the power play. Besser scores in the power play, so our 2 goals come from Brock Besser as we get run out of UBS Arena by a score of 6-2 against a 39-win Blue Jackets squad. A 39-win wildcard team beats the Eastern Conference champions 6-2 on their home ice. What a joke. What a joke. Shake it off, let the voodoo fall off. And okay, thank you. At least there's something positive there. Trey Augustine accepts the offer enthusiastically. So he's extended 4 years at 2.6. You put a very generous offer on the table cash-wise. Thank you. Thank you, Trey. The Augustine Empire lives to see another generation. Okay, so yeah, that was a real embarrassment. Let's shake it off. Let's show the home fans something that they gave their hard-earned money for. Let's go. Game 2. Let's split them, make it a best of 5, headed to Columbus. Gentlemen sweep, whatever you want to do, win 4 in a row. I will let bygones be bygones if we can show up and perform in Game 2. Not just Brock Besser. First line, I'm looking at you. First period, and it's 2-2 after 20. Lindstrom scores. Besser, of course, ties it. Bo Horvat on the power play to put us ahead, but then later on, Lindstrom Gustav Lindstrom, 78 overall, ties it at 2. Shots 11 to 8 for the Blue Jackets through 20. Second period, 3-3 game. Cole Eiserman, thank you, puts us up. Then Marchenko ties it soon after. Shots are 23-17 for Columbus through 40, and we're all tied up moving into the third and final period. Gino Malkin, I'm looking at you. Defense, power play. Hey, it's Ralph Pressing scoring as our power play expires. His first career playoff goal. Power play Isles, extended opportunity, killed off by Columbus. 4-3, make it 5, Matty Barzal. Whew, all right, 2-goal lead. We're not done yet. 5 minutes to go. Just barely outshooting this fringe team. Come on, 90 seconds to go. Ethan Belchetz throws in the empty netter. Then David Jiricek won as well. Why not? 7-3 the final. Shots end 34-26. That's the third period that we want to see from this Islanders team. Jiricek, Besser, and Barzal, all a goal and 2 assists for first, second, and third stars of the game, respectively. All right, we're back in it. 1-1 series, making it now a best-of-5 headed to Nationwide Arena. Okay, I'm feeling a lot better now. I still don't like the goals against. Ryan Pulock now fully healed. Does Ryan Pulock come back to this lineup? Let's see what Chris Letang has done through 2 games. I don't need to see offense. I know he doesn't have much, but I just need to see a decent plus-minus with Boldzuk, Mr. plus 39. Letang, 1 assist, -1. Boldzuk, 1 assist, -1 as well. Why can't I ever see the right thing I'm trying to click on? Thank you. 1 assist, -1, playing just about 15 minutes per night. Pulock is going to be the guy here. I love Letang, but I think I'm going to give Pulock a chance here with his plus-minus. Last year was a +4 in the postseason. It's more for the defensive attributes because I haven't liked what I've been seeing so far. Letang will come back. It's not a punishment or anything. It's just that Pulock is healthy, so I want a player like Pulock on that third pair with Boldzuk, and they seem to do so well for the majority of the season. It's also for Boldzuk that we're doing it. So on the road in Columbus for Game 3 with the series tied at 1. Let's keep it rolling. First period action, and it's 1-0 Columbus. Noah Dobson, of course, his second of the series. Shots tied at 8 after 20. Second period, 2-1, let's go! Gino Malkin scores twice. You thought he was done? Think again. Power play goal from Malkin, and then an even strength just 3 minutes after that. Shots are 22-16 after 40, and now we lead by 1 thanks to Malkin. And Vince Dunn with a shorthanded goal makes it a 2-goal lead. 3-1 Isles. From down 1-0 to scoring 3 unanswered. Power play New York. And there you go, Cole Eiserman scores as that power play expires. 4-1 Islanders. This, again, is the third period we need to see from this team. 5-1, Ethan Belchetz, his first on a goaltender, not an empty netter. Jonathan Drouin gets one back for Columbus, but it's too little too late as Malkin completes the hat trick on the road. 6-2 Islanders win, outshooting Columbus 34-26. Malkin with the hat trick, first star honors, the reigning Conn Smythe winner. 43-year-old Evgeny Malkin has a 5-point night. Is that the greatest multi-point game from a player at that age in NHL history? You'd have to think so. In a playoff game, as well. But still, 3 goals, 2 assists, a goal and assist from Eiserman and Belchetz. Evgeny Malkin cannot be contained. 2-1 Islanders series lead after dropping game 1. We win 7-3 and 6-2, outscoring the Isles, outscoring the Blue Jackets 16-5. And now the postseason starting down in the AHL as we finish the year 43-23-6 and are facing the Penguins farm team. Whew, okay, here we go. Actually, by the way, I noticed it was the wrong goalie there in the AHL. Is it because auto goalie rotate was turned off? Let me see. Yes, there you go. So Stepan's going to come in. Don't tell me Stepan played the entire season. 46 games playing. Oh my goodness. Ivankovic had to be playing more. He had 46 appearances as well. Okay. I thought you were going to tell me that he had like 15 appearances. Okay, there we go. Back to the NHL. Into Game 4 now with a 2-1 series lead. Let's make it 3-1. Like I said, gentlemen's sweep. Let's just, we gave the Blue Jackets a little bit of something in Game 1, but let's get back to serious business here. Let's close it out. Let's get to round 2. First period, 2-1 Blue Jackets. Newhook opens it. Patrick Laine with his first of the postseason ties it in the final 2 minutes. And then Adam Fantilli with 48 seconds to go makes it 2-1 Blue Jackets. Second period, no scoring. Shots 23-19 in our favor, but we remain down 2-1. Who's going to tie it? I'm looking at Landon Zupon. Let me call out a name. I'm looking at Landon Zupon, and I'm looking at Oliver Kapanen, forward and defenseman. First half of the third period gone, no scoring on either side. Power play, Isles, big one, killed off by the Blue Jackets. 5 minutes to go, we need one to tie it late, force overtime. Final minute, and the Blue Jackets hang on From their 2-1 period, Adam Fantilli's goal in the first period proves to be the winner as we outshoot them 33-31. Both goalies looked good, but Demko just looked a little bit better as the series is now tied at 2. We cannot let this Blue Jackets team back in. Come on. After scoring 7 goals and 6 goals, Demko puts a stop to that and only allows 1. It makes sense that he's going to steal 1 as a 90 overall, but we can't let him think it's going to be a trend. We need to respond in a big way here for Game 5. 3 games to go. We're back to having home ice advantage. Let's use that and make it a 3-2 series with a chance to end it at Nationwide Arena. Don't allow a series like this to go to 7, gentlemen. Let's go. First period. 0-0. Man, where's the offense? Shots 13-8 through 20 in our favor. Second period. All right, 2-0 Isles. Come on now. Patrick Laine and Bo top 50 Horvat. 48 goals in the season. I want to see goals from the captain. Shots are 30-18 in our favor through 40 minutes, but it's only a 2-goal lead. Here at home at UBS Arena, can we close out this third period? Power play Blue Jackets, and there's Ralph Pressing. That's the second time that he scores after a power play just expired, and Evgeny Malkin makes it 4. That should be enough. 4-0 Isles, and we will take a 3-2 series lead to Columbus with a chance to win it in 6. 2 years ago, we won in 6. Last year, we won in 4. Let's win in 6 again. And Trey Augustine, congratulations, his first career postseason shutout as the shots end 46-27. 4-0 Isles, the final. 27 saves from Augustine. Malkin a goal and an assist, and actually Samuel Bolduc, troisième étoile, 2 assists from him. That's awesome. So Trey Augustine, don't forget, last year in the postseason, he had 4 appearances, all in the Stanley Cup Final, and he went 4-0 as we swept the Winnipeg Jets. So this year, his record has been, 3-2, bringing his all-time record to 7-2 through 9 starts, and yes, indeed, his first career postseason shutout in the National Hockey League. There you go. All right, on to the next one. After a big 4-0 victory at home, can we close it out on the road at Nationwide Arena to take down the Blue Jackets in 6 like we did in the first round 2 years ago? Let's have a repeat 2 years later. A 6-game first round. Call it a day. Goodbye, Noah Dobson. Wave goodbye on our way to another second round matchup with whoever's coming our way next. First period, and the Blue Jackets open it up. Yanni Gourde down on that 4th line with the lone goal of the period. We're out shooting by double, 14-7, but we're down 1-0. But Matty Barzal puts an end to that just 48 seconds into the second period. 1-1 game, but then Malatesta ties it up just a couple minutes later. But then Patrick Laine a couple minutes after that. 2-2 game. Let's sim through this period, and it's 4-2 Islanders. From down 2-1, Laine ties it, Yzerman 3-2, and Bo top 50 on the power play puts us up 4-2. Shots are 27-13, more than double, and we're doubling in the score 4-2 with a chance to close out here in the third period. The 2-goal lead. Will that be enough? Matty Barzal with his second makes it 5. Power play Blue Jackets, that's killed off, and make it a 4-goal lead. That one puts it to bed. Mason Marchment with his first of the postseason. 6-2 Islanders, and after a little bit of a scare early on, we survived the Blue Jackets, as we definitely should. And we're on to what will certainly be a tough second round matchup with whoever came out of that other series with the Devils and the Hurricanes. Shots ended 40-23. The Blue Jackets get blown out at home to get eliminated. That's a tough one to take. Barzal 2 goals and an assist. Yzerman a goal and an assist. And Rasmus Sandin, Mr. Postseason, with 2 assists as well. 6-2 Islanders win, and we defeat the Blue Jackets in this 6-game series. On to face the winner of the Devils and the Hurricanes, as the Devils are up 3-2 in that series right now. Whew, we survive. That is all we need to do. Just survive. Matty Barzal scored 9 points in that 6-game series. Malkin with 7. Woo-hoo. Besser and Horvat also with 7. Yzerman 6. Laine 5. Belchetz, Jiricek, Kapanen all with 4. Ralph Pressing with 3 plus a game winner there. Including a game winner, I should say, sorry. Vince Dunn, Mason Marchment all with 3. Pollock 2 points plus 5 in 4 games. All right, that's why Letang had to come out, I guess. Martone 2 assists. Come on, Porter. We need more. Sandin, no points in 5 games, but then 2 in Game 6. All right. Bolduc 2 assists. Letang had that 1 assist in 2 games. Fajma 1 assist. Dupont, no points? What? 6 games, no points, and a +4, playing over 25 minutes per night. Dupont, no points, really? As Trey Augustine went 4-2 with a shutout, .909 save percentage, and 2.51 goals against average. We will continue to trust him. We know that Sorokin's been great in the postseason the last couple of years, but we will continue to trust Trey Augustine moving into round number 2. And you know what? I've got to see the Dobson numbers as well. So here in Columbus, no one scored more than 4 points. Really, 4 points from Lindstrom, Johnson, and Newhook. Noah Dobson, 2 goals, 3 points, -4. we can say that we once again win this duel against him. And goaltending, Demko went 2-4, 883 save percentage, 4.17 goals against average for the 90 overall. You love to see it in franchise mode. It's our 81 overall. Imagine Columbus's point of view. Their 90 overall goalie does that, while Trey Augustine has the way better numbers as an 81 overall. All right, so let's rest up. We have a couple days to rest as the other series are still going on. Take a couple days of some R&R, get in the ice bath, eat some nice meals, work hard, and we're getting ready to face the New Jersey Devils in the bottom right corner as they beat the Hurricanes in 6 games. Wow, is this going to be a tough matchup. 2 of the top teams in the NHL advancing another day. Oh, sorry, that must have been the AHL. 2 of the top teams in the league. 2 identical records, actually. 2 teams that went 51, 24, and 7 now face off in the second round of the postseason. This is going to be a tough one. Let's see that Devils team that took down the Hurricanes in 6, the 50-win, I believe, Hurricanes, in a 6-game series. The New Jersey Devils, one of our biggest rivals over the course of the regular season too. Jesper Bratt, Jack Hughes, and Dawson Mercer on the first line. Mercer in round 1 had just 1 goal, okay, but 4 points. Jack Hughes 5 goals and 7 points, and Jesper Bratt 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points. Second line, Kevin Fiala, Nico Hischier, and Timo Meier. Third line, Alex Holtz, who found his way back to New Jersey in this universe. Colton Sissons and Ryan Donato. And fourth line, Kiviranta, Lizotte, and Matt Zuccarello. 42-year-old Matt Zuccarello, a legend of their own. On defense, it's Shea Theodore and Luke Hughes. Wow, both at 90 overall. Whew. Second pair, Simon Nemec and Seamus Casey. And third pair, Ville Heinola with Brett Pesce. Very good defensive core. While the goaltending is 81 overall, Vitek Vanacek, who had an 887 save percentage in that first round. The battle of the 81 overalls. This season, he had, yeah, sure, I remember that. 925 save percentage and 2.34 goals against average. Crazy. Backed up by Data 782 Hall of Famer. All rise for Hunter Jones, who is here as an 80 overall. 2 appearances, really, this year? Hold on. Playoff stats in 2029-30. Yeah, 2 appearances, facing 46 shots, 935 save percentage. Yeah, Hunter Jones should be starting here. We all know what Hunter Jones can do in the postseason, but thankfully we won't have to face him, at least yet. Yoki Haru, Haltonen, and Cardwell, all healthy scratches for the Devils. All right, very strong top 6, great defensive core for the Devils. Identical record to ours. We know that it won't be an easy matchup, but I believe in this team. I think we can get it done. Down in the AHL, looks like we beat the Penguins there, and now we're on to face the Wolfpack. Gotcha, very good. Okay. Whew, anything else we got to say? I don't think so. Let's keep on rolling. The lines are the lines. The plus minuses are okay. Pollock will stay in. Yeah, it feels weird going so quickly, but we're ready. Here we go against the Devils for Game 1 of Round 2. Have we faced the Devils before? Yes, we have, actually. I just checked my records here. 2 years ago, after we beat the Blue Jackets in 6 in Round 1, we then faced the Devils in Round 2 and beat them in 7 games. Sound familiar? This year, 2 years later, we beat the Blue Jackets again in 6 games in Round 1, and now we face the Devils in Round 2. Will it be a 7-game thriller? We'll find out. I think we were down 3-2. Could it be even 3-1? We were definitely down in that series. There was a big comeback for that 7th game. I remember in Round 2 of that first run to the Stanley Cup Final. But here we go. Round 2, Game 1 with another matchup against the very strong New Jersey Devils. First period, and it's 0-0 after 20. 19-8, the shots for the Devils. Oh my goodness, almost a shot per minute. Sheesh. Second period, oh boy, we don't really batten down the hatches very much as the shots are now 37-17 for New Jersey. Wow. 37 shots against through 40 minutes. Third period, somehow we're still hanging on. Trey Augustine is giving us a chance, gentlemen. Go out there and find some opportunity to make it all worthwhile. Let's go. Third period, Bo Horvat on the power play. Thank you to the captain. 1-0 Islanders. Great power play opportunity. That was the time to pounce. Simon Nemec finally breaks through. Nemec on the 42nd shot of the night. Makes sense. Has to happen eventually. Power play Devils. Extended chance. Oh my goodness. You're kidding me. How long is this power play? What a kill. Final 2 minutes. Final minute. Oh, we're going overtime. Shots and 47-27 for New Jersey. What were all these penalties here? What happened? Ryan Pollock with the hooking minor from 11:30 to 9:30. Then 16 seconds after that penalty expires, Barzal gets a 5-minute major for charging. Shea Theodore had a double minor for high sticking. He scored very early on that one. Oh my goodness. Overtime. Let's hop in. Overtime here on Long Island for Game 1 of Round 2. Next player to score puts his team up 1-0 in this second round matchup. And as always, turning those shooting sliders up when we go into the simulation. It's going to be ugly, but at least let's try and shoot the puck. Horvat skating into the corner, to the front. Besser scores! There it is! Shooting that puck! That's what we want to see! Islanders win in overtime on the first shot from Brock Besser. It's all in the sliders, I suppose. I stopped talking for just a second. I should have kept commentating as Bo Horvat kept skating with it deep into the Devils' territory. Put it in front for Besser, who finishes it off, and the Islanders win in overtime. Horvat just skating deep into Devils' territory, finds Besser, and just puts it over the blocker of Vitek Vanacek. Beautiful. There's the captain. Big rig. Skating through all those bodies. Yes. Lovely lens flares, little J.J. Abrams action. And there's Besser. Martone's facing the opposite direction, saying hello to some of the fans. There you go, pumping the arms for some reason, and we'll take the victory. Thank you very much. Shots end 47-28. Bo Horvat, third star with a goal and an assist. Brock Besser, the second star, of course, with a game-winning goal and 4 hits to boot. But the first star of the game, the Emperor of the Augustine Empire, 46 saves for Trey Augustine, 979 save percentage as we take game 1. The Devils were 0-for-6 on the power plays. The penalty killers were huge. The goaltending was huge. And we squeak out, let's use that word, we squeak out a 2-1 win in overtime. Whew, that was an exciting one. Great. And I love short ones as well. I hate sitting here for 20 minutes trying to talk through the AI garbage. All right. On to game 2, still with the home ice advantage, of course, even though it was the same record. We did finish above the Devils in the conference and the division. So here we go, straight into game 2. Only 2 goals scored in the last one, so we want to minimize the Devils' shots and also get more ourselves, also be more clinical past Vitek Vanacek. We know we can score on him, let's do it more. First period here in game 2, and we start with a 1-0 lead, thanks to Rasmus Sandin, thank you. Shots are 13-11 in our favor through 20. Second period, now 3-0 Islanders, Oliver Kapanen on the power play, and Cole Yzerman makes it 3. Shots are now 29-16. They had, what, like 30-some, almost 40 shots through 40 minutes last time. And now this game, 16 shots through 2 periods. Awesome, as we're almost doubling their shots and lead 3-0 moving into this third and final period of game 2 here at home before we head on the road. 4-0 Matty Barzal. I believe he's still leading the team in points as well. 4-0 Islanders halfway through the third. That'll be all she wrote. Almost like still more than doubling. We're getting close to tripling at some point. Power play for the Devils. That's killed off. Don't you tell me. Don't you dare tell me. Oh, the Emperor! The Emperor's new groove, and it's Trey Augustine. The shots end 46-24 in this one. 24 save shutout from Trey Augustine. He allows 1 goal in game 1, 0 in game 2. First star honors, his second postseason shutout of his career and of this postseason. A goal and 2 assists for Goal Yzerman. And Matty Barzal with a goal and an assist for third star honors. 4-0 Islanders win. We take both games at home. Back spasms for Evgeny Malkin out until May 16th, which isn't too far away, but now out of the lineup. Oh, that's too bad. So we're going to put a little bit, Marchment or Fagemo? Marchment, 3 points plus 3. Why does it go to Kapanen? Fagemo, 1 assist. Okay, so Marchment's going to come up to the wing for the third line. And on the fourth line, this is where Brock Nelson gets to come into the lineup, and he'll play fourth line center with Fagemo and pressing. So Brock Nelson, welcome back to the postseason, my friend. A couple special teams tweaks here as well. You know what? On the power play, Rasmus Sandin, we know how he can become postseason. He's been great on the second unit power play in the past. So Rasmus Sandin will get Evgeny Malkin's power play spot on the second unit. There you go. All right, so yeah, that's in 10 days. It's now the 7th. Out to the 16th. All right, so Evgeny Malkin will be back soon enough, but he's going to miss a few games. AHL head coach can replace there. And we continue. So Barzal leads the way with 12 points through the 8 games so far. Augustine, 932 save percentage, 2 shutouts, 2 goals against average. Keep it rolling into Game 3 on the road at Prudential Center in New Jersey, not too far away from the Islanders' home. A lot of fans from both teams, well, of course, for the Devils, but I'm sure a lot of Islanders fans in attendance tonight for Game 3, up 2-0. First period, and it's 1-0 Isles. Bo Horvat puts us up with the shots being 11-6 in our favor through 20. Second period, 2-0 now, Patrick Laine, thank you very much. Shots are 25-15 in our favor, 2-0 through 40 minutes. Let's add to this. I want to see a nice 3-goal lead. Power play Islanders, that's killed off by the Devils. I want my 3-goal lead. Rasmus Sandin, Brock Nelson, and one more I'm going to call Ethan Belschatz, why not? 5 minutes to go with the 2-goal lead. Or, just you do you. You do you with a 2-goal lead. You know what? Don't you dare tell me. Bo Horvat, don't you dare tell me. Don't you dare tell me! Back-to-back shutouts, the Emperor still grooving! Oh my goodness, not tested very much, but a 17-save shutout! Shots end 34-17, and we win 3-0, shutting out the Devils in back-to-back games. Horvat 2 goals, Augustine 17 saves, Besser 2 assists. And against the 51-win Devils, we've now shut them out twice. We've held them to 1 goal. 1 goal over 3 games. 1 goal in 9 periods of hockey in the second round matchup. Trey Augustine has been a machine at .937 save percentage. Oh my goodness. And now a chance to sweep. To sweep. Who would have thunk it? The New Jersey Devils on the road here in Game 4. Oh, our biggest competition all season. They're on pace for like 64 wins at the halfway point. 64 or 65 wins. And now here they are, about to be swept by us. Let's finish off the job, ladies and gentlemen. First period, and it's 3-2. The Devils beat Augustine twice, but we beat Vanacek 3 times. Kiviranta opens it up. Martone answers. Luke Hughes makes it 2-1, but then Fagemo ties it, and Yzerman gives us the lead. Shots 15-10 in our favor through 20. Second period, make it now 5-3. 2 more for us. Besser shorthanded. Kapanen on the power play, but then Sissons on the power play for the Devils. As the shots are tied at 25, but we lead by 2. 5-3 Islanders through 40. Final period now with a chance to finish it off. Oliver Kapanen with his second, a 3-goal lead, 16 minutes away from sweeping the Devils in their home arena, no less. The Devils trying everything to get back in this game. Almost at 30 shots now, but they can't beat Augustine again. He allowed 3. That's all he's going to allow. Final 3 minutes. Wow. Who would have thought this 10 minutes ago, as your New York Islanders are through to another Eastern Conference Final as we sweep the 51-win New Jersey Devils with 4 consecutive victories. As the shots end 37-34, Augustine still above a .900 save percentage in this one. Kapanen 2 goals and an assist, Besser a goal and an assist, and we win 6-3 to complete the sweep. Woo! Wow, that was shocking, as we'll go on to face the Red Wings or the Rangers. Don't tell me Battle of New York. Oh, boy. We'll face one of those 2 teams. Before we start getting too excited, let's take a second to look at the point production now through these 2 rounds. Whew. Barzal still leading the way, yes. Wow, 13 points in 10 games from him after an incredible regular season to lead the team in points there. He's doing it again in the postseason. Brock Besser with 12 and 10 as well. Bo Horvat leads the team in goals, 6 goals, 11 points in 10 games from the captain. Cole Yzerman with 5 goals and 11 points. Kapanen 9 and 10. Malkin had 8 in 8 before getting injured. All right. Line 8 points. Jiricek 6 points and a +4. Ethan Belchet's 5 points and a +7. Martone 5 points. Okay, we want to see more from him though. 1 goal in 10 games, +4. I know goal scoring's not always his thing, but still. Marchman 5 points +5. Sandin 4 points +7. Zupon now had 4 assists in that series. Good, +7 as well. Ralph Pressing with the 3 points. Vince Dunn with 3 and a +8. Pollock 2 points +7. Bolzuk 2 points +3. Letang, we already saw him. Brock Nelson 2 games, 3 shots, nothing going for him, but even +-. Thank you to the former captain. And of course, the Emperor, Trey Augustine, in 10 appearances has gone 8 and 2 with 3 shutouts, a .934 save percentage, and 1.9 goals against average. One of the best postseason performances already, I would think, in NHL history from a rookie starting goaltender. How often does a rookie go into the postseason as your starter, and how often do we see numbers like this, right? Historic numbers from Trey Augustine. The Emperor. Wow, the Devils, yeah, they got held to almost no scoring in that series. Some brutal +-minuses, and Vanacek goes out with that .891 save percentage. Hunter Jones would have been our kryptonite, but the Devils never used him. All right. So again, rest up, ice bath, eat well, play with the kids, have fun, and get ready for a big Eastern Conference Final matchup as we'll face either the Red Wings or the Rangers. So I just checked my records again. 2 years ago, after we beat the Blue Jackets and beat the Devils, we went on to the Eastern Conference Final and faced the Red Wings. Did the Wings pull it off, or will it be another Battle of New York here against the Rangers? Let's see, for our 3rd consecutive Eastern Conference Final, we are facing the New York Rangers. Okay, so history will not be exactly repeating itself again. Then I would have said, could it be Winnipeg again in the final? Even, yeah, Winnipeg's there in the West. It would have been the Blue Jackets, the Devils, the Red Wings, and possibly the Jets again. But no, history will not be exact. But I don't know, maybe Stanley Cup Final against the Jets. Counting my eggs a little bit too early. Will Malkin be back? Yes, Malkin is back for Game 1 here against the Rangers. All right, so Evgeny Malkin is back. As I went over last postseason when we had the Battle of New York in round 1 against the Rangers, more often than not, the winner of the Battle of New York, regardless of what round they end up meeting, goes on to the Stanley Cup Final. And a good deal of the time actually win the Stanley Cup. So that could be the case right here again. Well, actually, it will definitely be the case that the winner of the Battle of New York once again goes to the Stanley Cup Final. But will that team win the Stanley Cup? That is yet to be seen. So very interesting to once again be facing off against the Rangers. We beat them last year in round 1. And that was a 6-game series, so we'll see how long this one goes. New York Rangers, let's check out this lineup. And you know what? First impressions, the forwards are not that impressive, but here they are. We got to give them their respect. Brett Berard on the first line, 86 overall, with 8 goals and 12 points in 12 games. Kirby Dach, first line center, 12 points in 12 games. And Tyler Bertuzzi at 35 years of age, 4 goals, 11 points in 12 games. Wow. Second line, Lawson Krause with 3 points in 12 games. Casey Middlestat, 4 goals, 7 points. And Samu Tuomala with 6 points, really. So Krause, Middlestat, Tuomala, 84, 85, 83. Third line, Kasperi Kapanen, Henrik Lapierre, and Dmitry Voronkov. Again, 82, 82, 83. And fourth line, Nick Robertson, Barrett Hayden, and Gabriel Perreault. So no one below an 82 overall, but also no one above an 87. Interesting forward core. How about the defense? Adam Fox? Yeah, 94 overall Adam Fox. There he is at 32 years of age. 3 goals, 13 points, plus 2, playing almost 26 minutes per night through 12 games so far for the Rangers. He's on the top pair with Ryan Lindgren. Second pair, Mike Matheson with Braden Schneider. And fourth line, Mason Lohrei with Matt Grzelcyk. All right, and goaltending-wise, it's Igor Shesterkin. Yep, 90 overall Shesterkin. 906 save percentage, 3.17 goals against average for the now 34-year-old, who is now 8-4 through 12 appearances. Have they won anything, the Rangers? Yes, they won the 2027 Stanley Cup. So yes, the Rangers have done that in this franchise mode. He's backed up by Jurenko at an 80 overall and scratches Thomas Turcotte, and there it is, 89 overall, Philip Hedl. So their first line center, 89 overall. The only player above an 87, Philip Hedl. He's out, 7 assists in 6 games. Is he going to be coming back, or is he slated to come back this round? Let's see in the injury report. So we're fully healthy with Evgeny Malkin being back. But the Rangers will be dealing with Hedl out, for the entire postseason, it looks like, unless it's like Game 7 of the Cup Final. June 9th, he's coming back with a broken foot. So that's a big opportunity for us to be able to play against the Rangers without their first-line center involved. They made it through round 2, but Hedl was there for the majority of that first-round matchup. Yeah, actually the entire first-round matchup against the Panthers. So the Rangers took down the Panthers in 6 and the Red Wings in 6. And now face us, as over in the West, it's San Jose versus Winnipeg here in 2030. All right, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 of round 3, our 3rd consecutive Eastern Conference Final. 4 wins away from a 3rd consecutive Stanley Cup Final. Trying to start matching those numbers from the 80s, and a 3rd consecutive Cup Final would go a long way in doing so. Battle of New York for the 2nd consecutive year. Let's do it. Here with home ice advantage as well. First period, 1-0 Isles early. Patrick Laine on the power play. Shots 14-8 in our favor through the first period. Second period, 2-2 game as Casey Middlestat on the power play ties it. Brock Besser on the power play puts us back up. Then Kirby Dach soon after ties it up at 2. No scoring in the final 14 minutes after that. Shots are 25-20 in our favor, but we are tied at 2 through 2 periods. Third period action now. Next one might be the winner in a game like this. Berard up in that first line makes it 3-2 Rangers as Augustine allows 3 on 26 after a crazy series against the Devils. Halfway through the period, there's Porter Martone with just his 2nd goal of the postseason so far. Tying this game at 3. Now at this point, next one might be the winner with under 5 to go, and it's Tyler Bertuzzi. 4-3 Rangers, final 90 seconds. Hero late, no, Bertuzzi gets the winner. As the shots end 36-29 in our favor, but Tyler Bertuzzi and the Rangers come out victorious. Berard, Dach, first and second stars. Brock Besser, 3rd star with a goal and an assist. As we drop game 1, just like in round 1 against the Blue Jackets, as the Rangers take it 4-3 here at UBS. Tough one, tough. So we scored 3, but allowing 4 is what did us in, obviously. All right, let's keep on rolling with Augustine. Still the guy, of course, into game 2. Let's split the games at home and bring a best of 5 to MSG. Here we go. First period of Game 2 of this 2030 Eastern Conference Final. 2-1 Islanders after 20. Lindgren opens up the scoring, but then Malkin and who else but Samuel Bolduc. Why not? Pourquoi pas? Shots are 15-7 for the Isles through 20. After going down 1-0, we now lead 2-1. Rangers power play earlier in the second, and Henrik Lapierre capitalizes 2-2 game. Increased responsibilities for him now. Perreault makes it 3-2, but thankfully Evgeny Malkin ties it at 3. And there was no scoring in the final 11.5 minutes. Shots 29-19 in our our favor through 40, but this is a tie game at 3. Boy, 2 goals from Geno Malkin in this one. We need the top 6 to be coming through in a game like this. These are the games we need to come in and win in the third. Porter Martone, and then Brock Besser makes it 5-3. 2-goal cushion now. I want to see a 3-goal cushion. Thank you, David Jiricek. 6-3 Isles. Power play. There's the touchdown. Could we get the extra point with 6 minutes to go? A tight 3-3 game, but we'll come away with a 6-3 victory. It's looking like. Make it 7. Geno Malkin with the extra point. 7-3 final. Is that identical to round 1, where we dropped game 1 and then won game 2 7-3? Shots end 45-26, and we take a big victory. Malkin with his second hat-trick of the postseason. Oh my goodness. Is that the oldest player in postseason NHL history to score a hat-trick? Breaking his record by like another 3 weeks? Besser goal and an assist, and Porter Martone goal and an assist. 2 goals in his last 2 games, and just 3 in the entire postseason. But he's woken up here against the Rangers. And Dupont, another minor injury for him. That's like could it be his 3rd minor injury of the season? As Dupont will be out until May 26th, which is I think a couple games. So not the end of the world, but that definitely hurts as he plays a lot of minutes. So Vince Dunn will come up to play with David Jiricek on the top pair, and Chris Letang, I believe, will have him try second pair with Rasmus Sandin, as Pulock and Bolduc will stay on the third pair. Pulock 3 assists and a +10, Bolduc 4 points +6. I don't want to mess up a good thing on the third pair, so I'm going to try Sandin and Letang playing together, and we'll go from there. And Letang can replace Dupont everywhere else. Dupont so far 4 assists +8, playing 23-17 per night, and he's going to be out with that injury until, let's see, today's the next game on the 19th, so I'm probably missing a couple games at least. Yeah, probably 3 games for Dupont being out. Okay, so winning that game at home now makes this a best-of-5 series, with it now being tied 1 game apiece. Moving to Madison Square Garden now, not too far from UBS, we face the Rangers. Again, similar to the Devils series, lots of fans of both teams in attendance. Of course, Ranger dominant, but a lot of our fans making the long trek to Madison Square Garden from the island. Here we go with a 1-1 series. Let's get into Game 3. First period, 2-0 Rangers early. Middlestat and Krause on the power play. 2-0 after 24, the Rangers. Second period, 3-0 now, Nick Robertson. 3-on-17 past Augustine, as we have nothing on 26 shots against Shesterkin, who looks hungry to steal a game after allowing 7 goals a couple nights ago. Shots 26-17 in our favor. We're down by 3. Not done yet here in the third. Power play for the Rangers doesn't help. We kill it off, but we need to get something going ASAP. Top 6, I'm looking at you. Power play Rangers. There you go. Give them a double minor extended power. There you go. Give them 6 minutes of power play. So penalties don't help. Besser gets 1 back. We need 2 more. Thank you, Evgeny Malkin. We have 4.5 minutes. We're not done yet. Hang on. After all those penalties, final minute. Oh, too little, too late. If we hadn't taken all those penalties. Besser and Malkin scored twice in the span of, 28 seconds? Oh, shots end 39-31, but we drop it 3-2. Who's taking these penalties here? Besser slashing and Martone with a boarding major. Fantastic. Shesterkin 37 saves, and the Rangers now have a 2-1 series lead in the Battle of New York. All right, down 2-1 in the series. We're going to try and split the games on the road as we just split the games at home. And, we were up 2-1, and the Blue Jackets tied at 2-2 in round 1. Let's have the reverse, and now we tie it to make it a best-of-3 into games 5, 6, and 7. All right, big implications in this game. I don't want to go down 3-1, have to win 3 in a row. Let's tie this series here, gentlemen. Let's go. First period, and it's a 2-2 high-scoring affair as Barzal and Horvat open it up, both scoring on the power play. But then 2 power play goals from Krause and Berard. Was it the same power play or what? Penalties here. Oh my goodness. Look, Martone holding, Dunn hooking, Laine hooking. 4:34, so that was 2 separate penalties. Yeah, so we allowed 2 power play goals as the shots are 12-7 in our favor, but we're tied at 2 after 20. Second period, 4-3, we take the lead. Thank you, Martone, making up for that penalty, putting us up. Then Krause ties it before Brock Besser puts us back ahead in the lead. Now shots 24-17. It's a slim 1-goal lead moving into the third period on the road. We gotta hang on tight. Let's go in enemy territory, but Nick Robertson, another power play goal. Ralph Pressing makes it 5-4. Power play Isles, that's lost. I guess not killed off, but lost. Then power play for us again. Lost again, like a 1-minute power play. Okay, maybe some 4-on-4s going on in there or something. Final 5 minutes with the 1-goal lead. Shots almost double. Come on, gentlemen. No! Kapanen with a minute and 3 seconds left. Oh, come on. 5-on-37 for us, but 5-on-25 for them. as we're headed to overtime for a huge overtime period. Whew, at Madison Square Garden, a goal for the Islanders ties this series up at 2 and makes it a best-of-3 headed back to UBS, but a goal for the Rangers puts them up 3-1 in the series, 1 game away from the Cup Final, and will need to win 3 in a row. And of course, you already know those sliders got to go up. Shoot that puck, boys. Let's go. Brock Boeser into Rangers territory. He was the hero last time. Puts it on net. Glove save Shesterkin. Offensive zone draw for Big Bo. He wins it back. Boeser, done from the point. Actually didn't win it back. He pushed, and Boeser got it back. Martone just skates over the puck. Doesn't want to take possession of it. Just lets it go through his skates as he skates over it. Oh my goodness, and Augustine's going to hang on to that chance. That's 3 Rangers all in front of the net, no one even close. We have defensemen behind our net, and we have 3 Rangers right in front of Augustine. Yeah, that's great. Long pass up to Boeser, Yurchek, Horvat with the lane, hits off one, but Shesterkin gets a piece of it. Oh, took a deflection off of a Ranger. Now it's Barzal on the dot for this offensive zone draw. He wins it back to the point. Letang, down in front, Yzerman. Oh, backhand save from Shesterkin. Here comes Bertuzzi now in the neutral zone. Sandin just skating backwards and giving him nice wide berth. Very good. Behind the net, Rangers with possession. Can they somehow lose it? It exits our territory. Very nice. Here comes Laine. 2-on-2 with Yzerman. Stick lifted, but he gets possession back into the corner to Yzerman. Around to Laine. Short angle shot. That's stopped by Shesterkin. To Sandin back in front to Laine with the redirection. And Shesterkin makes another save. My goodness. Krause. Oh, what a hit! Wow! Porter Martone just bodies. What's his name there? I forget who that even was. Now Martone has possession himself, and we'll just dump it in, no problem. Here's Boeser. Look in front, Brock. Come on. Boeser. And it was Krause. Yes, it was Krause. A big body himself. Wow. And now he comes into Islanders territory. Let him walk in and shoot. Having to really stretch to make that save is Trey Augustine. Defensive zone draw now for Kapanen. He wins that back. We've been lucky on the faceoffs. Very good. Yurchek up to Malkin now. Evgeny Malkin, 43-year-old Gino Malkin, going on 44 now this summer. He's very close. Matheson in the corner, gets out, gets it to Lawson Krause, took that big hit before. Energy for him is low. He gets poked away in the neutral zone. Big hit there again. Now here's come Kapanen through one. 2-on-1. Kapanen on net. Shesterkin with the glove save. Another big face-off here. Kapanen wins another for us. Done. Yurchek. No! What he's doing? Yay! Voronkov. Yes. Everyone's, despite there being like 4 players in one square. 4 players in 1 square foot. The Rangers come away with it, and a weak little floater from the hash marks floats by the glove. And now we're down 3-1 thanks to that. There you go. Dunn, Yurchek, both totally bamboozled. Dunn, what's he doing? And then a weak little floater. What? That pick up speed midair? What is this? Can I even see the play? Picking up speed midair. And a little floater past the glove. There you go. Despite outshooting the Rangers 44-29, we lose 6-5 as Augustine allows 6 goals on 29 shots, and we are now down 3-1 on the brink of elimination. We have to win 3 in a row if we're to make it to the Stanley Cup Final. Awesome. Okay, so what changes are we going to think about making? We haven't made any changes to this lineup. It's gotten us to Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final, but now's the time to make some changes, I think. Martone at 9 points. He's picked it up plus 10. Horvat 7 and 9, Boeser with 20 points, Cole Yzerman 5 and 6, Barzal 5 and 12, Laine 5 and 5. Maybe a switch with Laine. Belchet's Kapanen. Yeah, let's bring Malkin up. Switch Malkin and Laine. That's a classic change we've made in the past. Pressing. The 4th line is a fine plus minus. Maybe Fagemo comes out. Goal and 2 assists from him. I don't really see a big reason to have to do so. Nelson. Maybe Nelson comes in just to give us a centerman on that line, because Marchman's not really a centerman. Maybe just Nelson comes in to fill that role. Okay, let's try that. Marchman, Nelson pressing on the 4th line. Defense, Dunn, Yurchek. The plus minuses will be fine. It's that last game which didn't look too hot. Sandin, Letang, 4 games, -2. Boldzuk, Pollock. Okay, so Pollock's going to move up with Sandin. So 2 changes there. Pollock to the 2nd pair, Letang to the 3rd pair. And then we're going to swap in the middle 6 there, Laine and Malkin, and Nelson out. Sorry, Nelson in, Fagemo out. As we're going to keep rolling with Augustine as the starter. That was a tough game, but I think I don't think now is the time to switch to goalie who hasn't played a single minute yet. Trey Augustine will continue to be the guy. The Emperor will continue his reign as we now move into Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final at UBS Arena. We need to win the next 3 games in a row. Down 3-1. We cannot afford any more mistakes. It all comes down to this. No stopping, no saving the file. This is it. Game 5, gentlemen. The last chance for a few of these players. Mayfield, Nelson, Pollock. The last chance. Let's go out there and live to fight another day. Take it 1 game at a time. First period, and it's 1-1 after 20. Brock Besser, who else opens it up? Then Lawson Krause ties it. Shots 12-11 New York after the first period. Second period action now, 1-1 it remains as the shots are 27-18 for the Rangers. But we're all tied up as we need to win this period to prolong this series to a Game 6. It all comes down to the next 20 minutes here at home at UBS Arena. 20 minutes to put ourselves ahead and give ourselves the best chance of victory. Power play Rangers. That's not the best thing we need to do, but we do kill off the penalty. Halfway through the third, the next goal might be enough to win it. For either side here, top 6. Come on, line A. Gino, the extra minutes as well. 5 minutes to go. I'm ready to hop in at any moment here. Final minute, 55 seconds. And we're sadly, very sadly, off to overtime as the shots end 35-27 for the Rangers. Here we go. I'm T-minus 4.5 minutes away from throwing something through the wall. But let's head into overtime. As we're in overtime of Game 5 at UBS Arena, a goal for us pushes the series to Game 6. A goal for the Rangers will send them to the Stanley Cup Final. Here's Kirby Doc, neutral zone. Martone, take it away. No, he just gets through 2 guys. Berard, again, weak little floater. Let's both of our defensemen, after that shot, go below the goal line. And then one Rangers forward skates straight towards him. Gives him a snow shower, probably. No problem. No problem. Defensive zone draw for the Isles. That's a good push from Bo. Yurchek gets it up to Besser. Let's go, Brock. Get on your horse, buddy. Brock Besser on net. What was that? Oh my goodness, what was it? Please tell me that hit a stick. Please tell me. Oh my goodness. Where are you shooting? That didn't hit anything. Oh my goodness, where are you going? This is what we have to deal with. This is what we have to deal with day in and day out. This broken game. Ryan Lindgren up to Bertuzzi now. Tyler Bertuzzi poked, but Berard now gets it. No problem, scores. Yep. Okay. Back-to-back week overtime goals, and that's it. Eliminated. There's the season. In 5 games against the Rangers in the Battle of New York. What an embarrassment in those 2 overtimes. What an embarrassment. The weakest goals. The absolute weakest goals that you will see in simulation. And that's the season. 3rd consecutive Eastern Conference Final, but the dream ends there. Let's see. Pass into the middle. Vince Dunn doesn't want to do anything about it. He backs up. Yurchek moves away so that the shot can be taken. Nice little weak shot. Augustine, let's see, just gets a piece off his stick. That's nice. Off his stick and in. He deflects it in. Nice. Don't try and save it with your blocker. Try and deflect it with your stick. That's nice. Very good. As we get outshot 37-27 and lose 2-1 in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final to be eliminated here in the 2030 postseason. The journey to another Stanley Cup ends here. As, yes, like I just said, a 3rd consecutive Eastern Conference Final. It would have been a rematch against the Jets in the Stanley Cup Final. But the Rangers will go on to face Winnipeg. Man, as we swept them last year. Rangers and the Jets. So there's another reason why the Jets would have made that trade back when they did a couple of years ago, when they traded the 1st overall pick for the 3rd overall pick plus a little bit more. They've now been to 2 Stanley Cup Finals. So I think it worked out for both us and Winnipeg in that trade that ended up happening. But there you go. That's it. That is it. The 2030 postseason, year number 6, comes to an end there in round number 3. Brock Besser scored 10 goals and 21 points in those 15 games. He'll definitely be wanting a big contract. That'll be a huge question for us as we wrap up the episode. Barzal, 17 points over point per game. Bo Horvat, 16 points. Evgeny Malkin, 13 in 13, as he will likely be retiring at the age of 43. You'd think this is the end of the road for Evgeny Malkin finally. 243 points in 237 postseason games in his career. If this is the end of the road for him, 4 Stanley Cups, another Eastern Conference Final, been to a bunch of those. Kapanen 12 and 15. Yzerman, was great but slowed down for sure. 5 goals, 11 points. Laine 10, Martone 9, Jiricek 8, Belchetz with 6, Dunn with 6, Marchand with 6 as well, Sandin with 6, Pressing with 4, Bolduc, Dupont, Pulock all with 4, Fagemo, Letang. Letang wasn't great. Brock Nelson, 3 games, 3 shots, no points. Trey Augustine ended with a 9-4-2 record, 3 shutouts, 915 save percentage, and 2.47 goals against average. Very, very hot, and not very, very cold, but like some really rough outings for sure. Especially allowing 6 in Game 4 there against the Rangers. But that about does it. We'll sim to the draft. We still have a bit more to do to wrap up the episode. We'll look at the draft class. We'll think about the contract extensions. We'll look at the progress reports. And then we'll call it a season for year number 6. So let's see if the Jets can avoid losing the Stanley Cup Final in back-to-back years, or if the winner of the Battle of New York truly does go on to win the Stanley Cup. All right, and there you have it. The New York Rangers are your 2030 Stanley Cup champions. They won in, 2027 we said? So another cup for them. The cup has been in New York between the Rangers and the Islanders the last few years, that's for sure. And the Battle of New York winner once again goes on to win Lord Stanley. Salary cap up to $107 million as we sim towards the draft here, waiting on the retirements. Pittsburgh wins the draft lottery, jumping from 3-1. Montreal 10-2. Wow, Buffalo poverty dropping from 1-3. Washington 2-4. Central scouting. Now here's the big moment we've been waiting for. Malkin, Letang, even some of our older veterans in there too. What retirements are we seeing here in 2030? Let's check it out. And only Malkin, it looks like. Evgeny Malkin at the age of 43 says, all right, enough is enough now. He came to New York, signing this deal with the Islanders, ended up yielding 3 consecutive Eastern Conference Finals, 2 Stanley Cup Finals, 1 Stanley Cup. Geno Malkin officially retires with 1,637 games played in the National Hockey League, 694 goals, 1,026 assists for a total of 1,720 points. In the postseason, 95 goals and 148 assists for 243 points in 237 games. And of course, when it comes to his awards, 4-time Stanley Cup winner, 2 Conn Smythe trophies, 2 Art Ross trophies, 1 Hart, 1 Ted Lindsay, and of course the Calder back in 2007. Evgeny Malkin, take a bow, one of the best careers that we've seen. A first ballot Hall of Famer, no question, and I'm really glad that that little pickup for a veteran guy ended up being a 3-year story with Evgeny Malkin. He was a big part of this franchise mode series, even if it was just for 3 years, and we'll remember him whenever the series does end up wrapping up as being one of our major players. John Tavares also retires, 1,444 points. Marchand, Giroux, Huberdeau, Carlson, Zuccarello, Hall, Tarasenko, Nyquist. Anders Lee retires. He spends 1 year down in Bridgeport helping out the youngsters and now says, that's enough for me. 302 goals, 580 points in 1,121 NHL games for the former 6th-round pick back in 2009, spending the majority of his career as an Islander, just 1 year with Toronto when we traded him away. We had to dump a second to do it. Didn't have the greatest time. Came back, won a Stanley Cup, and he can now retire with his name on Lord Stanley at 39 years of age. Anders Lee, one of the original legends we inherited here, now retires along with Palmieri and Cizikas. Well done. Anybody else? Ekman Larson, Schwartz, Howla, scrolling down, I think that might be just about it. Let's double check by just going to the Islanders themselves. New York Islanders, yes, just Malkin and Lee. So no Nelson, Pulock, Mayfield, thankfully no Horvat or anything. They're all still on board, whether or not they come back. And then for the goaltenders, we see Sergei Bobrovsky at the age of 41, almost 500 wins, retiring. Freddie Anderson, Peter Marachek, Casey DeSmith. And there you go. So there are your retirements for the 2030 class. Continuing to sim towards the draft. No retirements in Bridgeport. No retirements for the Islanders. Very good. Pro Scout, blah, blah, blah. Hang up. And now here we are at the draft. All right. So let's check out the playoff tree. Finally put a bow on this postseason. The Rangers end up beating the Jets in a 6-game series. So the Jets beat the Hawks in 7, and then the Wild in 5, swept the Sharks, but losing 6 to the Rangers. There you go. There is your 2030 bracket. Down in the AHL, we lost to Hartford in 5 games in the second round. Hartford lost to Belleville, and Belleville went on to win the Calder Cup. Now looking at the awards for 2029-30. Rangers win the Cup, so it went Rangers, Avalanche, Islanders, Rangers. So 3 of the last 4 Cups belonging to the state of New York. President's Trophy went to the Sharks, of course. We saw that. Jets, Rangers, yes. Individual awards. Art Ross to Nathan McKinnon. Same for the Hart Trophy. James Norris to Cale Makar. His first in a while, actually. Hughes, Bouchard, Nikishin. Now back to Makar. Lady Bing to Seth Jarvis. Calder to Ethan Belchetz. It should have gone to Trey Augustine, but Ethan Belchetz in his 35-point season wins him the 2030 Calder. A lot of people were saying we should have traded him. I'm still definitely entertaining that idea, but at least we can say, hey, this guy won the Calder. Let's give him a sophomore season. We'll see where he goes from here, and hopefully this boosts his growth a little bit. Berard won the Conn Smythe for the Rangers. Wow. Vezina to Vitek Vanacek, of course, who we beat up in the postseason. Also the Jennings went to Vanacek and Jones. Masterton to Vilchinski in Nashville. Jack Adams to the coach. Back-to-back years for Spiller, the coach of the Kraken. Selke goes to JT Miller. Wow. Ted Lindsay to McKinnon. And the Maurice Richard to Connor Bedard for the third consecutive season. Down in the AHL, we see Hornqvist. Yes, Thomas Hornqvist wins the equivalent of the Calder down in the AHL. There you go, our first-round pick last year, who should be in the NHL for 2030-31 moving into year number 7. So speaking of those prospects, let's check out the progress reports now at the end of our 6th season. Who got some nice growth over the course of the year? Zupo's at a 92 overall right now. Whew! Kapanen an 89! So how much of this growth will be maintained, we'll find out. But Kapanen currently sitting at an 89, Laine 88, Horvat 88, Besser 89, Zupon 92, Barzal 91, Martone 89, good. Eisman at an 86, I don't know why. Belchetz up to an 82, good. Markman down to an 83, he'll likely walk. Pollock 81, Mayfield 80, Sorokin 86, see. Letang done 88, and there you go, no growth for Augustine just yet. And in the system, big growth from Simon Demer, very good. Engqvist grew from a 73 to a 76 over the course of the year down in Bridgeport. He had a good year, 33 points and a plus 32, Ulf Engqvist. Probably one more year in Bridgeport, and I would think after that, 2 years from now, getting into the NHL. Sasaki, Bates will get his entry-level contract. Gervais Chouinard, Timonen, Hakana, Rivet, Brock Nelson down to a 78, Simpson. Anybody else? What if we sort by overall? Pressing down to a 79. What? Carbonneau still at a 77. And of course, actually, go back to overall, still an 80. Actually, no, he's not in the system. I was saying, where's our defenseman? 80 overall. Hornqvist, yeah, still an 80. But hopefully we'll grow over the course of the offseason with his medium league potential. 44 points. AHL Calder, plus 27. Thomas Hornqvist looking good. All right, then for the goaltenders, we saw nothing from Augustine, but in the system, Sasaki and Stepan both getting growth, but still nothing here from Ivankovic. He better grow over the course of the offseason. I want him to be competing for the NHL next season. Come on now. He's 23, 76. Now's the time to get a nice jump of growth over the offseason. Now let's go to contracts. On to the contracts. Big questions here, as we will have quite a bit of money to spend. If you look at Brock Besser especially, we will have, let's see, $22.485 million to spend. So for 4 years, Brock Besser is looking at $11.75 million. So his 4-year AAV demand has come up, which makes more sense. If we were to give him his 4 years but bring down the money, I wonder how far it could actually get. Yeah, it could come down quite a bit, even with no clause. So we'll give him a clause. Let's think about it too. So 4 years, let's say my usual go-to to start is a 50% no trade clause. We could get it down to 4 years at, I wonder, probably 9.25. We could try that as a first offer, maybe a little bit higher, but 4 years at 9.25 on Brock Besser if we were to be re-signing him. Or we go to 2 years, same, probably a full no trade clause, no movement clause, sorry, if it's going only to 2 years. And that dollar value would probably have to come up to above 10 million. Yeah, probably we're talking about the 10.25 range. That would be the starting point. So 10.25 for 2 years on a full no move clause, if that's the direction that we want to go in. Brock Besser, he did great in the postseason, great in the regular season. I'd love to keep him, but we got to get Kapanen into that top 6. You need to tell me a way to get Kapanen in this top 6. Is it that Laine goes to the third line, but we give him first unit power play or something? Or is he not going to be happy with that? I don't know. Chris Letang likely walks. He's still here at 43 years of age. He's back for more, but I think we let him walk the free agency, especially asking for that money. Unless it changes to like $2 million after the draft, I think we let him walk. Marshman's going to walk. Pulock. Now, here's a big question. The lifer here on Long Island. Do we keep Ryan Pulock? We know on defense. Actually, let's count the numbers. So if we look at the main roster and think about the forwards right now, sorting by overall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. That's going by overall. Yzerman likely in that top 6 as well. Marchment walks. Belchetz on the third line. So the third line would be Belchetz and who else? Belchet's and maybe Pressing, maybe Fajmo, I don't know. But if Kapanen does come up to the second line, who then is the third line center? Arturi could maybe stay as fourth line center. In the system, Pressing is there, hopefully to grow a bit more. Does Brock Nelson come back as fourth line center, down to a 78 overall now? Probably not, honestly. Maybe Nurmi might grow a little bit, Carbonneau, I don't know. But for the most part, we would need some help in the bottom six there, because now no more Malkin, no more Marchman. Yeah, there's definitely some spots to fill. So when you think about your suggestions, give me the idea of your lineup as well, even if it's just X's to fill in the blanks in free agency. Defensively, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, minus Letang, so 6 becomes Boldzuk. But we also want Hornqvist playing full-time, so probably Pulock becomes 7, whereas your first pair will be Dupont-Jiricek, your second pair Dunn-Sandin, your third pair Boldzuk-Hornqvist, and Pulock your 7th defenseman, therefore allowing Scott Mayfield to walk to free agency at 37 years of age. So we only can keep one really between Pulock and Mayfield, and I do lean Pulock. Both of them want close to the same. Pulock a little bit more at $2 million, but we could definitely bring him down with the high organizational interest and everything. Probably close. Yeah, we could do 1 year, $2 million, even a little bit lower on Ryan Pulock. So I think that's my plan, probably, unless anybody has any big thoughts about that. Sorokin down to an 86. Is it time to think about trading him? Maybe, but I don't want to rush it yet. If Ivankovic ends up not being ready, well then trading Sorokin doesn't do anything for us. Let's keep Sorokin, hopefully get some growth from Augustine, and hopefully see Ivankovic push for an NHL spot, and then, not next episode, but the episode after, we can seriously consider a Sorokin trade if needed. But yeah, he's definitely regressing. And how about unsigned players? Any unsigned players joining the team? Bates will join, yeah, for sure, and these other UFAs, but definitely Bates up to a 74. Nazarov, Tulipov. Okay, so forwards and defense, we can think about that. Now for the potential pending UFAs, like I just said, we're thinking about more in the bottom 6, kind of third-line scorers as well. Belchet's might be that only guy that we know for sure is on that third line. Maybe Fajmo the other wing, but we would definitely need a third-line center if Kapanen's being promoted to the top 6. So here are some of the other UFAs, bigger overalls we probably wouldn't be in consideration of going out to acquire. But third-line center, Aturatu probably a bit too good. I'd prefer a guy who's primarily a center, a lot of center wingers, and before you know it, you're already down to 82 overall. So if you look at just centers especially, a lot of guys who are center wingers, like how good are those face-off attributes? If you think about Alex Newhook, 75 face-offs. Dylan Cousins, okay, 80 face-offs. Nicolas Roy, 77 face-offs. Donato, 70 face-offs. So how many of these guys are actually centermen, right? Brisson, Kakanyemi, that could be a third-line option. Maverick Bork, yeah. And then if we're thinking about anyone else, sorry, I just came to centers to think about the third-line center. But anybody else that you're thinking about in the bottom 6, feel free to pause or ask me for further information on. If you're thinking about Fajmo staying fourth line, we need a different third-line right winger potentially. Yeah. Then for the defense, I think the defense is full, but just to throw it out there, here are some potential pending UFAs for the defensemen and potential pending UFAs for the goaltenders. Vanacek jumps from an 81 to an 89 overall after winning the Vezina. What? That's crazy. Okay, so there are the potential pending UFAs. Now the draft class. So looking at the draft board, we have our first at 29th overall, and then we don't pick again until the first pick of the 4th round of Buffalo selection. So 1 first, 2 fourths, a 5th, and 2 sixths. We'll definitely be trading up if we want anybody in that 2nd, 3rd round range. But we do have our first round pick to play with at 29th overall. So looking at the draft class here, of course, the medium elites at the top, as always. If we scroll down a little bit further, medium top 6s, blah, blah, blah. At 29, there is a potential low elite here in Yuri Alexeev. 3 years away as a low elite. That could be something. Or we go more into that 2nd round medium top 6 category, where here is Peyton Cassian, 1 year away medium top 6 sniper. Medium top 4 Ds, Eriksson, Rask. We probably need more defense in this. Well, we need actually everything in the system, I think. Might be more forward since now we have Enqvist and Hornqvist on defense. Probably more forward-centric for our first pick. But yeah, there are some forwards out here. Bo Tenno, 3 year away. Power forward. Guys like that. Juha Karahalti. Olsen, medium top 6 sniper. Marcus Olsen, 3 years away. And with the B shooting at this point. Yeah, a bunch of top 6 forwards that could be options for us. And if we sort by just potential, anyone later on for the later picks that we have? Yes, definitely. So we'll get one of these 3 goalies. I don't want all 3 of the goalies. One of these 3. So there's Duda at 89, 5 years away at 18. Miura, who is 17 and 5 years away. So probably Miura is my guy at 17. Also Ackerman, who's 18 and 5 years away. So Miura or Ackman. One is 6'2", one 6'3". Mira is younger. Both medium elite, both hybrid. Okay, in the low elites, we could get Spencer and McClement. Okay, so yeah, we could definitely get some late value. But for the guys in the second round, the third round, and I should look a bit deeper as well, it's going to be harder to acquire them with the picks that we have. Cicito, this guy from Romania. Whew, okay. Summer, some other medium top 6 later. Some low top 6s. There you go. Medium top 4Ds into the hundreds. Yeah, Richardson at 127. Is that offensive? No, defensive defenseman. Yeah, it'll be tough to grow. Low top 4s, and then even a high starter. This guy Blaine, Ashton Blaine. Alrighty. So that does it for year number 6, ladies and gentlemen. The major questions are the ones that I just mentioned throughout the last couple minutes with the extensions and the lineup positions as well as the draft. And also keep in mind off-season focuses. Who should we be talking to and for what reasons? Draft, potential free agents, view contracts. Yeah, I think that does it. So thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. It was a great postseason that ended too early, with a few things that just didn't make sense. Of course, with 2 overtime losses, with super weak goals in EA overtimes, nothing new there. But we look forward to year number 7 ahead. Still more to prove, but the core is starting to age a little bit more, which is not necessarily a bad thing. We don't need to start selling, but we do need to think about the future beyond the years of Horvat, Line, and Besser. So leave all those thoughts and suggestions down here in the comments on YouTube or over on the Discord server, which is linked in the description. Thank you very much for watching once again. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell to be notified when we go live, when the episodes are coming your way for franchise modes, career sims, and much, much more as we continue to get closer to 9,000 subscribers. So thanks for enjoying the episode and being a part of the channel. I look forward to seeing you once again in the next one.